And then so the exponential education is kind of that ripple effect where if every educator is empowered to teach from the inside out, then
Because we're shaping the world in every way. Tech Sculptics, baby, lead today. Web3, AI, crypto dreams. Coding in the clouds, it's more than it seems. From Africa to the whole
Welcome everyone to Tech Sculptics. This is Benedict Ojobo, also known as the B to the E to the WNORY, Ben Nori. You know, your tech sculptor on Tech Sculptics. Today we have an exciting, an amazing, and a wonderful guest, one that is affecting the future of education, trying to build collaboration around the world. He's so passionate about young people. Meet David Prorock, a creative force at the intersection of education, technology, and self-expression. With a background in computer science and experience at Facebook, Uber, and Interview Kickstart, David brings deep technical expertise, but that's just one facet of his work. He's also a meditation coach, yoga teacher, rapper, founder of Exponential Education, a global learning ecosystem using AI to inspire youth and educators through personalized project-based learning. From launching music brands to building website apps with student creators, David's journey is all about curiosity, creative freedom, and community healing. He hosts Full Moon Fusion, a monthly space for mindful expression, and helps educators around the world design and monetize their own learning experiences using lovable AI. Above all, David is on a mission to help the next generation dream boldly, create freely, and rise together. So welcome, David, to Tech Sculptics. You are our tech sculptor for today. Thank you for joining the show. Great to have you on Tech Sculptics today. I'm so excited because meeting you is something that's like a dream come true for me. Really, I have to say that because it is, and it's true, because our thoughts just aligned. It's like we were just aligning from different worlds, and now we're together trying to make the future happen for young people in education.
thank you so much, Benedict, for the beautiful introduction. My name is David Prorock, and I am a tech sculptor. I'm very excited to be here today to talk about exponential education, not just what we're building, but the why behind it. And I'm very honored to be here on the Tech Sculptics podcast with you, Benedict, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Awesome. And I'm also excited to have you on the show today. First of all, before we jump into the questions I have for you, I want you to just give us a little bit of insight into what exponential education is about.
Yeah, definitely. So, exponential education is more than a brand, it's a movement, and it's something that is bigger than me. I'm not the owner of this, I'm the shepherd. I am walking us forward into the exponential future, and I am doing everything I can to support this movement. And exponential education exists because traditional education systems aren't designed to unlock human potential.
Awesome.
They're
Yeah.
designed for compliance and not creativity and memorization and not imagination. So we're building exponential education to flip that script and to give both young people and educators the space and tools and support to discover what they care about, what they're good at, and what kind of world they want to create.
So, what inspired you to begin this movement, really?
Yeah. To begin exponential education,
Yeah.
one of the moments where everything clicked for me was when I realized that I wanted to organize and share my knowledge and wisdom with the world. And so I set that intention for myself about 2 years ago. My intention was to organize and share my knowledge with the world. And so I started pursuing that intention and discovering ways that I could do that. And so one of the things that I found was this amazing opportunity called the In Zone program at Harper College, which is where I work as an instructor. And it was like it was the career path that I never knew that I wanted. And it's this amazing youth enrichment program. And as an instructor, I'm able to propose any courses that I want to teach. And then if they're approved, then I get to teach them however I want. And so it was exactly what I needed and I need right now. And yeah, my next classes start on Monday. And so once I discovered this path, I also discovered that there is not very much support for new instructors to do this type of thing. And so I don't have an education background. Like I have a computer science degree, and I worked as like a TA in college. And when I worked at Facebook, the first team joined was called Social Learning Groups, which was about putting education features into Facebook groups so that community leaders can have an education layer to the community. So I've always been interested in education and improving education and making it more social or mobile. And when I was able to connect with the End Zone program and I was able to use AI and multiply, like yeah, like take the ideas that I had for courses and then like really build out in with like full clarity. And I was able to teach the classes to the students last summer, and I saw just the impact that it made on them. They felt seen and heard and supported, and they were able to create amazing things. And it was just so inspiring. And so, vision for exponential education came about like only a couple months ago, I would say, when I realized that the path that I laid for myself year could be shared with other entrepreneurs and educators who also want to share their knowledge and wisdom with the world, but maybe don't have the tools or they don't have the permission. And so now, yeah, so that's kind of where it came from. And then so the exponential education is kind of that ripple effect where if every educator is empowered to teach from the inside out, then their voices can be heard and amplified, and the students will feel that impact and they will be inspired and empowered. And then the movement can keep growing in strength as we learn how to learn and express ourselves in this new age of generative AI.
Wow, that's awesome. And I'm glad you also mentioned AI in this conversation or while you were answering that question. And I have a couple of questions I penned down for you, and I'm just going to jump into them now and ask you because AI is here to stay. And even though some people are still feeling a little bit cringy or feeling a little bit afraid of using AI, it's here to stay and it's part of the future. Let me not say new, but the future of learning. So for your experience, what are the biggest opportunities and pitfalls when deploying AI to build truly inclusive cross-cultural learning communities? Because I know you are very big at collaborations and building communities. So what are the pitfalls when deploying AI and building truly inclusive and cross-cultural learning communities?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, the biggest opportunity that I see is the way that AI lets us break free from the one size fits all model of education, and especially in emerging markets where traditional curricula may be outdated or disconnected from lived realities, AI can create localized, culturally responsive, multilingual content that adapts in real time. And so each individual student has their own unique needs. They have their own existing knowledge in their mind and the ways that they learn best. And so AI gives us unprecedented power to personalize learning so that each student is receiving an education that truly serves them, rather than judging them.
Yeah, I love that fact about
Yeah, and the
personalized learning.
risks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and in Yeah, in the terms of the risk is, I mean, there's probably lots of risks, but one of them is that students are creating their own learning pathways if there isn't some kind of quality assurance. So the benefit that you get out of curriculum is that there needs to be some kind of checks in place to make sure that what the AI creating is truly serving the student. So it's not a replacement for the teacher. It's more so like an amplifier for the teacher and an amplifier for the student. Additionally, another risk is that if the AI systems like Western-centric data or top-down pedagogies, then we risk erase truly inclusive cross-cultural learning. Yeah, and so
Sorry.
we're able to create bridges between educators and curriculum with the individual students,
Sorry, can
so that
you
we can use local languages. Yeah.
sorry, can you just run a little bit back? Like you mentioned something pedagogies. Like I want you to break that down because that word, so that those that are not really in this space will understand what that means. Like because and I lost you in a bit when you were speaking. So just trace a little bit backward and break down the word pedagogies.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna Google it to give like an actual definition.
Okay.
It means the method and practice of teaching,
Okay.
especially as an academic subject or theoretical concept.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it's kind of like the method and practice of teaching. And so you can use AI in a way that is teaching the same Western top-down teaching methods,
Yeah.
which can just be like more effective indoctrination.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the risks. And so we want to make sure that it's coming from a place where the students are learning from the inside out and not from the top down.
Hmm. Yeah. That's interesting. And that's something that is really very fascinating. What I love about one of the things you said is about the fact that we are able to have this personalized learning. You know, every person is unique in his or her own way. Every child is unique. Every person is unique, and we bring our uniqueness to the table. So why not also use that same uniqueness, like kind of like latch on that same uniqueness using AI to be able to personalize learning for, if possible, each individual child. You know, like trying to see how we can even personalize assignments or home fun, as they call it sometimes, for kids when they go home with it, so that they can be able to learn at their pace and also be able to love learning, you know, not to be like, oh, you are forcing something down their throat that maybe they may not want to do or something like that. That's awesome. I'll jump down to the second question, which is the fact that you've taught hundreds of young learners, both creative coding and mindfulness workshops and all that kind of stuff. So, how do you integrate meditation practices into tech-driven curricula to enhance focus, creativity, and emotional resilience?
Yeah. So mindfulness is at the core of everything that I teach. And so what that looks like is that when students are learning, if learning is personalized, the student first needs to know who they are. They have to understand what's happening within them. And so that's where the mindfulness comes in. So before kids build an AI powered rap generator or a new brand, they often will close their eyes and breathe, and then they can center themselves, set an intention, and just observe what's arising within them. And then from this place of nervous system regulation, where the student is balanced, this is actually when the cognitive mind, the thinking mind, operates the best. And so, as and so, this is, yeah, the mindfulness like unlocks that higher level thinking as well as that create. And then the technology is embark of their original thoughts and then and that mindfulness is increasingly important into this high advanced technology future because there's going to be even more information, more possibilities, more decisions to be made. And so if the student and also the teacher from a place of balance and centeredness, it can be overwhelming and discouraging and can lead to a loss of agency, role of what they're creating. So that mindfulness is bringing it back to the core center, and then all else flows from there. And so the pillars, so I break it down to five pillars, which are mindfulness, creative expression. So from the connecting with yourself, then you express yourself, then it's personalized guidance. So based on that expression, the teacher is able to guide students next on what you expressed and what you created. You can connect with your community. And then the fifth, because once you're connected with your community, work together to build better economy that all of us.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you mentioned the teachers and the students connection because I want to, for our audience, what we're talking about is AI-driven personalization, transforming teacher-student dynamic in an emerging market. So I'll take the next question, which is, as a product developer and co-creator at Exponential Education, what frameworks or rituals do you use to keep stakeholders' co-creation sessions both visionary and grounded in real-world classroom needs?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
So, what exponential education does is so exponential education doesn't deliver education. It invites people to design it. And so that's the only way that it becomes truly inclusive and truly exponential. So what we do is we treat the classroom like a design studio. Every student becomes a creator and so we're not running a school, we're running a co-creative ecosystem that blends autodactic learning, which means the student leads the way, creative production, where the projects are the curriculum, AI integration, which makes things personalized, dynamic, and playful, and we tie it to real-world outcomes, which means the students are creating products, they're writing stories, they're doing performances, they're doing pitches, and so we believe that every young person should learn how to learn and learn how to love learning. They should be building things that matter. They should see their voice reflected in the world. So we're creating a new learning economy where facilitators become founders, students become creators, and curriculum becomes currency, so that we can live in a world where creativity is a career path, AI is an amplifier, and education is something children actually love.
That was really, really very interesting. And I actually love this because we are already like, I love watching fiction movies like growing up a lot. And, sometimes you have this caption on those movies, they say 2025. And now we're in 2025, way back it was like very long time, and now we're in 2025. And what is happening now, especially with generative AI, is something that is really mind-blowing because the kind of things you could do or the things you could achieve with generative AI is beyond imagination. Like it's something that will enhance every teacher and also cause every child's creative genius to be able to come out, even those that were like feeling, oh, I don't know much and all, when they start engaging with these tools, they'll be able to understand that the world is like their canvas where they can paint anything they want to paint. So it's interesting that you are championing this course using exponential education and also taking it global, like trying to reach the underserved people, those that actually don't have the opportunity or the tools or they have limited resources, like taking it down even way to Africa. Just to mention, David has exponential education in Africa also, and because he's trying to serve the underserved. Yeah, and you can hear from his conversations that he's very passionate about trying to build a future where everybody is actually creative or bringing out their creative genius and collaborating and building stuff together. And that is very, very interesting and something that we all need to applaud because it's a world where for me as a person, I believe in everyone having a uniqueness and everyone coming together and sharing their uniqueness. And this platform, Exponential Education, is going to make that happen. And it's something that everyone should have to embrace and ensure that we jump into and try to support this course as much as possible. So, David, any final thoughts for the audience before we wrap up the session?
Yes. Yeah. So I love what you're saying about exponential education and education. At exponential education, our purpose is to unlock the innate genius in every learner and educator on Earth. We're building an ecosystem where young people don't just learn, they lead, build, and express who they are. And our goal is to empower every human on Earth to dream boldly, create freely, and rise together because AI is amplifying human potential. And so we want to make sure that every human on Earth has access to these tools and can use it to build a future for themselves where they can be at peace, they can be happy, they can serve their purpose, and we all can rise together.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, David, for coming on to Tech Sculptics and becoming our tech sculptor for today. And I want to believe that next time when we come knocking, you will jump into the show and come to share with us the amazing work you're doing all around the world with exponential education. So, folks, this brings us to the end of today's show and our amazing guest, David.
Thank you so much, Benedict. A couple things, or one last
Okay,
thing. So,
okay,
if you want to
okay.
get involved in exponential education, you can join the exponential education platform at exponential-education.com. And so, we're calling in creators who want to teach what they love, technologists who want to build something real for the next generation, parents who want their kids to be lit up and future ready, and also investors who want to put their energy behind something meaningful and alive.
Awesome.
To invite everybody watching this to go to exponential-educom and join the platform. Once you join that platform, you don't just become a consumer of content. It's empowering you to become a creator of the future and build the future with us. So from just the initial intake form, we can create a curriculum or lesson plans, things and articles, things that you can start to share with the world. Because everybody has something to share. We can learn from everybody. We have something to learn from everybody. Everybody has something to teach the world.
Yeah.
And so by joining this platform, you're joining a global ecosystem where we're all supporting each other, we're all learning, we're all teaching, we're all creating the future together. So that's
Awesome.
exponential-education.com. And amazing. And yeah, we can end here, but I have some like a little bit of bonus content
No, go
that I would
ahead.
like to share.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to show. So here, this is the flyer that I created for my summer 2025 InZone courses.
Wow.
So this summer, I'm offering 14 courses. They're in-person courses for ages 6 through 14. And one of
Wow.
the amazing things about this is that this flyer was created by AI. So I put my course schedule into ChatGPT, and then it output this image for me that goes through and organizes it by age and has the key details. I added this QR code afterwards, but so there's just a an artifact here that like teachers who are off their cards. So on the class day, this is one of the products that I bring into class. I designed these myself, and they feature little coloring book characters that have and by the students in my classes. So a student, yeah. So these are coloring book adventures. So this is part is create your own coloring book course. So this character here was designed by one of my students and then brought to life using AI. And then on the back, it says creating resources like this that teachers and librarians can just print out themselves and then bring these innovative curriculums to their own classrooms. Another key format for exponential education is called a zine, and it works by folding up one single piece of paper into a little booklet.
Wow.
So the students are able to create their own that are small, they
Wow.
fit in your pocket, and
Wow.
you can color them in.
Wow.
And it says every idea holds the potential for magic thinking. So these are the zines, and then I just want to show you like how this gets created is it starts
Wow.
with just a flat piece of paper. And
Wow.
so all you need to do is like you there's a little bit of folding and a little bit of cutting,
Yeah.
and then it turns it into a little book. So
Wow.
this is something that's accessible to any teacher that you just need a printer that prints white paper. And you can also make them hand drawn. So even if you don't have a printer, you can fold up these little zine booklets.
Wow.
And I would love to give a quick tutorial on how to fold one of them.
Awesome. Awesome.
Is
That
that
would be
okay?
great. Yeah. Great.
All right, cool. So here's how you fold a zine. So it starts like this with eight. It's an eights. So you fold it in half,
It
like
reminds me of
so,
the Crazy
and then
Eight
you fold it.
in design, in
Yeah, yeah,
UI, UX.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could turn anytime you do a crazy eights, you can fold it up into a little booklet. So you
Yeah.
fold it in half again, and then you fold it in half one more time so that it's folded into eighths, and then you open it. So it's like this. You find the side that's folded. So make sure you don't do it on the open side, on the folded side. You want to rip it halfway, like so. So it
Yeah.
looks like this. And then you open it, you fold it in half, and then you press the center down into the
Oh,
middle,
wow. Interesting.
and then you
Wow.
have your own little book.
Like magic.
Like magic, exactly. So I use these in all the courses that I teach because it empowers the students to create their own little books with just one single piece of paper.
Wow. That's so nice.
All right, cool. So
Interesting.
yeah, those were the three things I wanted to share. The flyer, the coloring book cards, the zines, and how to fold a zine.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Benedict, and the Tech Sculptics team for having me on here. And thank you to all the viewers for listening to us talk. And remember that your voice matters and we rise together.
Of course, we rise together, and that's profound. Straight from David Prorock, the founder of Exponential Education. Thank you so much for jumping on the show, and we're glad to have you. And we are so happy for the work you're doing, and you're doing great, empowering educators around the globe. It's a great, great work you're doing. Thank you so much for answering the call. Like you said, you are the shepherd, so it's very interesting. Thank you so much. And we'll get to see you again some other time when we call on the show. Thank you so much. Bye.
Yes, thank you, Benedict.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Hey now, what's the buzz? Tech's evolving, it's all because we're shaping the world in every way. Tech Sculptics, baby, lead today. Web3, AI, crypto dreams, coding in the clouds, it's more than it seems. From Africa to the whole wide world, innovation's flag's been unfurled. Tech Sculptics, where the future's bright. Innovation.